A very good morning and thank you for staying tuned to Sunrise at Sea. Welcome to our Wellness, Beauty and Lifestyle segment. My name is Agi Owase and today we are talking financial wellness, and in particular we are talking about debt payment. Now we live in a time and era where so many people struggle with paying their debts. It could be money that you have borrowed from a friend, it could be a bank loan, as well as MTN mobile money, it could be Airtel, it could be anything. So many people find it difficult to actually pay back their debts. And today we are sitting down with an expert who will help us dive into this conversation and let us know how we can pay our debts very well. And sitting with me today is a financial literacy coach, and his name is Philip Tumwizera. Good morning, Mr. Philip.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us on the set once again.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I'm glad to be on the show again.
Yes. And today we are talking about debt payment. Would like to know from you, our financial literacy coach, in your words, what is debt payment?
Debt payment is when someone gets a debt, actually them paying back that debt, like getting to understand, to know that I've gotten a debt, I've gotten this loan, it's my obligation to pay back. Because when you get money, when you get a loan, it's not your money, and you have an obligation to pay back before you even spend on anything else, whether rent or what. You have to set the money aside for repayment of that debt. Yes.
Okay. And for our next question, I'd like to know how and when should someone get a debt? Because someone could wake up today and they just want money to spend in a bar or to take a friend out, and they would get a debt for that particular reason. So we'd like to know, when is it necessary for someone to get a debt, and how should they get the debt?
It's funny how, like in Uganda, someone will borrow money to go out or take.
Yes.
I remember in our university times, a friend would come at your hostel, "Come with 100,000, have this chick I'm taking out."
Yes.
But I would say that before someone gets a debt, they need to plan in advance. What do I need this money for, and how am I going to pay back this money?
Yes.
Yes. After doing that, and then they need to make this money productive. Yes.
So does it basically have to be something really vital? You cannot. It's not important to get a debt when it's something that's a luxury, that's probably you want, that's leisure. You shouldn't get a debt for that.
It is not really advisable to get a debt for that, to get a debt for luxury or what. It's not really advisable. It's better if you're getting a debt for business, or you have an emergency that you need the money, but you also have in mind a repayment, how you're going to be paying. You have a plan how you're going to pay that money, or you have somewhere where the money is going to come from.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and for my next question for you is, let us know about the whole debt payment plan in detail. How should it be?
Basically, a debt payment plan, I would say that if someone gets a loan, they need to understand. For example, if I'm a salary earner, as I'm doing my budgeting and everything, I need to put in mind that when I receive my salary, the first thing I have to remove is
before anything else,
before you even save some money, before you even pay your landlord, or you made school fees for your children, or you even buy food for yourself, or even parent.
Yes.
The first thing you have to first do is get that amount of money and put it aside, because that is not your money.
Yes.
A loan is not your money. Yes. You have to first get that amount, put it aside to avoid defaulting and you lose your security. Because most people get this money and they attach collateral at it. That means if you default, the lender has a right to take your security, most especially if you go to these non-formal kind of
money lenders,
like money lenders. Yes, because many people have lost their properties to money lenders because of that. Basically, they get money and they use it for something else, and they forget to pay back their debt. Yes.
Okay, and for my next question, actually, I'm taking it from what you have said. That means there are certain avenues that someone shouldn't venture in when it comes to getting money or borrowing money. What would you advise someone who wants to borrow money? Should they only stick to banks? Can they actually get the money from money lenders? Because sometimes you realize maybe you don't have enough collateral that the bank needs, and also banks usually take a longer process.
Yeah, longer process.
So in the event that it's an emergency and you need the money, do you actually advise someone to go into the whole money lending situation?
About taking a loan somewhere, it is always we always advise people that it's better you go to formal organizations that are regulated by Bank of Uganda, or Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority, or even the regulatory bodies that regulates things like SACCOs, such kind of stuff.
Yes.
Because when you go to those non-conventional, non-formal service providers, they always have unfavorable terms like high interest rate. They easily take your collateral. There's a lot of confusion with those people. So it's always advisable, regardless of the longer process that the banks take. If a bank takes long and you don't have the collateral, what you have to do, you join a SACCO. For example, if you join a SACCO won't need as much collateral. For example, SACCOs have policies whereby when you save with them, they can give you 3 times the money that you've saved.
Okay.
You get it? Or you join an investment club, or you go to these there are women round clubs. For example, if you're a woman and you work in a market, you join those round clubs. Those can really help you quite a lot. Instead of going to the man lenders, whereby you're going to leave your collateral there and they're going to give you a high interest rate, whereby you're going to fail to pay that money, or you may be wanting to pay and then someone switches off the phone. They always do it intentionally so that they can fail you to pay the money and then they take your collateral. So it's better to go for those regulated financial institutions like SACCOs that are regulated by, that are registered by this by SACCO regulatory bodies, by Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority, and by Bank of Uganda.
Okay.
Yes.
And for your final remarks on this debt payment plan, what is your advice to somebody out there who would want to borrow money from any avenue? Because we know some people as bad debtors.
Yes.
They could actually get the money, like you said, and they have so many things to do with the money, but they do not take a debt payment as priority. So I'd like you to tell that person out there who is a bad debtor how they can go, because sometimes I don't want to think that sometimes it's actually character. It's just somebody who does not know how to pay, who does not like to pay their debts. So what is your advice?
I would say that those people might not be bad debtors like as them, but because of situations that they get into, or they lack a certain information or certain literacy about how to get the loan, where to get it from, how to pay back. Because someone doesn't have information, or that I don't have to get money to buy beer or to please my friends.
Yes.
Because if you're to get a loan, you really need to put in a productive business so that you can be able to pay back.
So Mr. Philip, I would like to know from you as a financial literacy coach, I would like you to probably give a word of advice to the creditors, because it's not only about the debtors, but it's also about the creditors. What advice would you give somebody? What should they look out for? Is it just the collateral security that is most important, or it's other factors? Yes.
About that, the creditor should look out for example, if they are giving individuals, they should look out for, now the Bank of Uganda with other stakeholders, they introduced what they call a financial card or a credit card, whereby they trace an individual's behavior on how he has been paying back different loans over time from the different institutions that he has been gotten.
Okay.
So that financial card is very important when banks are assessing an individual when you're getting a loan. Basically, to know the amount of how you've been paying, that trail, how you've been paying back, have you been delaying, have you defaulted any loan somewhere? So that gives you a credit score, like a whole behavior on how this person's behavior on paying back the loan, which is very important. And we are glad. I'm glad that now banks, before now giving you a loan, personal, they are first ask you for that financial card, which is a very good thing. And I just encourage them to continue doing so. Because when you just look at collateral, someone might people have been forging collateral over time. They put someone else's property and they claim as theirs, and then they default in the loan and they disappear. So you go to the village to sell this guy's property, you find it's the mom's property.
Okay.
And basically, because this person is a defaulter, like you got a loan, defaulted and went. And then when it comes to businesses, you have to look at their business plans. How are they performing? Their financials. How are they handling debt before? how it is their cash flow, what is the behavior of the shareholders or the business owners. How do they handle their money? Like, do they plow back the money in the business or they use it for personal interests? Basically, it's very important if you look at such kind of stuff and then you look at the business plan, look at their financials, how they are performing. Do they have the ability to pay back this money, or they might reach at a certain point and fail, not just looking at their collateral or just giving out the loan because you want to make a sale as a loans officer or as a credit officer. That is what I would really advise.
Well, you had it from the expert, and that is Mr. Philip Tumizere, who is a financial literacy coach. Do not borrow money for the sake of it. Borrow money when it's important and if it's for a vital cause. Well, that is what we had for you on our Wellness, Beauty and Lifestyle segment this morning. But do not go anywhere because Sunrise at Sea continues. Good morning and keep watching Sunrise at Sea.